Well, there has to be more to it than that.
There's not.
I don't... What did they say when you talked about Chuck?
What does Chuck have to do with this?
What's going on with 6? Huh? There. What is that?
Oh, yeah. Dead pixels.
Wasn't there yesterday.
Had a voltage spike earlier. Camera flared for about 20 seconds, but it came right back.
A voltage spike?
Who knew Warner had those ninja powers, huh? Welcome to the Binge List. I'm Paul Chappell, your host, and I'm reviewing Wiedersehen. Episode 9 of Better Call Saul, Season 4. And boy, I hate that word, Wiedersehen. It's like one of the writers on Better Call Saul, or maybe even Vince Gilligan watches this show and wants to embarrass me because they know I can't pronounce that. Wiedersehen stands for Until We Meet Again, which is a cryptic thing to write on a rock you're about to, dynamite blast. So why couldn't they call it a Wiedersehen or Snell, something German I can pronounce. Anyway, it finally happened, guys. It finally happened. Jimmy and Kim had that breakup scene, that blow up of all blow-ups that we've been expecting to happen all season long, and man, was it something to behold. We started out the episode with Kim answering the question that she had posed at the end of the last episode, which is, let's do it again. And what was she referring to? Well, she was referring to this scheme in Lubbock, Texas, where Mesa Verde has a branch. And as we saw in the last episode, the bank owner wanted to change the plans. And of course, she figures out a way because Kim is resourceful and so intelligent. So anyway, the episode started with that, and it was very good to see her in Jimmy's element, I guess you could say. And sad to say it could not last, because we later see Jimmy in his reinstatement hearing, and everything's going well until the scam is going well until the interviewer asks him a question out of the blue. What does the law mean to you? And of course, Jimmy being Jimmy gives a very insincere answer, although he delivers it just fine. But as Kim later tells him, they were looking for some contrition from you. And he did come off insincere, especially with the go land crabs. Go land crabs? Really, Jimmy? So it's very interesting. And boy, that blow up. When Kim says, you are always down, holy crap.
And maybe next time you call, I won't come.
There you go. Kick him in when he's down.
Jimmy, you are always down.
That's just, I mean, she was right. I mean, how could she not be right? I mean, she does everything right. And Jimmy, he's always screwing up and she's always bailing him out. I mean, how many times has she bailed him out of something? I mean, the whole thing with Chuck. I mean, every time you turn around. And Izzy's over there being a little bit too noisy. So anyway, it was very, very good episode. Jimmy even got to mention his whole disappointment with her turning down his office. I mean, I don't even know if she really turned him down. Was there a scene where they even talked about it? I mean, I know she visited one of his office locations, but I think it was always clear once she got that new job, there's no way she was coming back. So now that he's not getting his law license back, definitely not going to happen. And he was even packing up when he came back to the apartment after their blow up. So, wow. Next episode is going to be a doozy. But moving right along, we had Lalo. And like I said, guys, it's obvious Lalo is a freaking maniac. Because he visited Hector, and the first thing they start doing is reminiscing. Well, he's reminiscing because Hector can't talk. But Lalo's reminiscing about the time Hector burnt down some guy's hotel. And as a souvenir, he went back inside while the place was still burning and got that little bell that we know Hector is going to use later in Breaking Bad. That was a nice little throwback. I really enjoyed that. I've seen some movies like Solo where the little moments like that where you discover where Han gets his gun and his jacket and his name, they're all handled rather clumsily. Well, that is how you do it. That is how you do a throwback. And it made sense for the characters. It gave you a little bit more insight into who Hector is, which is a murdering bastard. We always already knew that, but Lalo added a little caveat that he gets joy out of killing people. So I really like that moment. And I like the moment where Lalo goes, he goes to Los Polos Hermanos and talks to Gus. And he's just so affable. And he's really trying to trick Gus into admitting that he's running a scheme on Don Eladio. But Gus doesn't, of course, Gus doesn't fall for it. He tells Gus, well, we could, I think Don Eladio wants us at each other's throats. So maybe we could work together. But Gus doesn't fall for it. Who's going to trust a Salamanca anyway? I would rather deal with Don Eladio than any Salamanca. So that was very interesting how Gus handled that. But now I'm left wondering, why does Lalo want to go to Gus's chicken farm? And I almost forgot that Nacho is working for Gus. That little look he gives Nacho before he steps in the back was very telling. I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot about it. So maybe, that's another reason Nacho has those fake IDs. He knows Gus can come down hard on him at any time. So, man, that's a nice way to remind us, whose loyalty, where everybody's loyalties lie. So everything about this episode is pretty interesting. I'm liking how they're tying up all the loose ends this season. So now we got the dig crew. The dig crew, they're blasting the rock, and that scene played out exactly how I imagined it played out, with them setting up that something horrible is going to go wrong in this scene. But it's not exactly what you thought. I mean, there was a lot of misdirection there. you think the whole time Warner is a goner. He's going to blow himself up. And he instead he has a panic attack. And I thought that was very odd, but it was telling. It was like everything else with these writers. It was foreshadowing what was going to happen later. That Warner was going to have a freak out later. Freak out about his wife in this case. But that whole scene, I was on pins and needles. I mean, I was, wow. So that was very, very tense. And the whole truck scheme was kind of weird. I guess they were trying to muffle the sound of the explosion by having the truck go over the area where they were doing the blasting. I just assumed that's what they were trying to do. That was never very clear. If anybody is an engineer watching this and you have an idea of what they were trying to do, please let me know in the comments. Because I just assumed that it had something to do with tamping down the shock wave or whatever from the blast. But moving on, Warner tells Mike that, he wants to see his wife. So, and Mike, there's no way Mike's going to let this guy leave. He wants to leave for 5 days back to Germany. There's no way that was going to fly. So I think Mike was suspicious too. But I came away wondering, does this dig crew, does anybody actually know why they're digging this hole? I mean, I know when they bid for the job, Mike explained to them that they were going to be in seclusion for all this time. But do they know it's going to be a drug lab? I mean, that made me think that maybe Warner thought he could actually slip out because they're basically in a prison. But it just made me feel like if Warner didn't know completely what they were going to do with this hole, maybe he thought it would be okay to slip out. And he did leave a note. We don't know what the note says. I'm pretty sure we'll find out next episode. But I was also left wondering, how the hell is Warner going to get back to Germany? I mean, how they're out in the middle of nowhere in a freaking desert. So is he walking back to Albuquerque? I mean, there's no indication how far they are from Albuquerque, but I mean, does he even know what direction to walk? I mean, did he somehow arrange for transport with his wife using some kind of code? And it occurred to me that the guy that Mike has watching the whole dig crew, he must know German because he's telling Mike at one point what Warner is talking about with his wife. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But wow, there's just some things in this episode that very intricate. I noticed that the little device that Mike finds at the very end was the little laser pointer that Warner first used to measure the space in the laundry area when he was first bidding on the job. So I thought that was a nice touch that he used the laser on that to overcome the cameras, to voltage spike the cameras. So the whole thing where he figures out how to get out of there, that was just genius. I mean, Mike should have respected the fact that, hey, you're working with a German engineer here. These guys, top notch scientists in the world. So should have been a little bit more cautious about the whole setup. But oh my God, I cannot wait for the last episode. I wish I had a time machine. I can go see it now, but I'm gonna have to wait just like everybody else. It's kind of ironic that this show's called the Binge List when you really can't binge this show. But man, it's worth the wait. This is what quality television is all about. So I enjoyed it. Let me know. Let me know what you thought about the episode. And I think that about wraps it up. And I will see you when I see you.